Hello, 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 everybody. It is Pip here from queenpipcards.com and the Card Making Know-How Academy. And I'm streaming live, so welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been a month, can you believe it, since I was live last time, which was back at the beginning of April. It's now the beginning of May. I don't know where this year's going, but it's going. So, so anyway, welcome and hello. This is my live stream. Today we're going to be talking about all things to do with love. So wedding cards, anniversary cards, engagement cards. We're going to be looking at some really pretty things. We're going to be using some great stuff. So I've got thoughtful wishes here. I've got wonderful thoughts. I've got regal flora, die sets, everything that goes to match with that. I'm literally now just on time. I was a little early today, which is not like me, but there you go. No technical issues this time around, I hope. I hope my audio is working all right. It looks like it's working all right, so that's good. So let me know when you're here and chat in the comments, because I can see my comments when I'm doing stuff. Okay, so let us think about weddings, anniversaries, love cards, engagement cards, all those kind of things that we might need to have. I'm going to show you a few things with some backgrounds, and then we're going to crack on and make some cards. So let's go hands down. I'm here. Hopefully you can now see all this. All right, so what have I got? So I really like white on white cards, but I know that some people find that a little bit tricky. I do understand that. I'm just going to double check, because it says that we're live, but there's nobody here. And normally, mind you, it is a bank holiday, so you guys might be out enjoying the bank holiday weather. So I will accept that you might be out enjoying the bank holiday weather. I'd forgotten that it was a bank holiday, because I work Tuesdays and Thursdays for corporate, so it's never a bank holiday for work. Hey, Paula's there. Good morning. Hello. Popping in to say hi. She's off to work, so you haven't got a bank holiday or a public holiday over there, have you? You're still working. And I figure I always work on a Monday, so I'm just going to crack on. The only days I don't really work are Christmas and Easter, I guess. Or at least not on the Sunday. Try and take a day off every now. I try and take a day off every week, at least. So, you know, there's that. So I do like white cards. And I do like white on white. But I do know that some people find that very, very tricky. So I've got a couple of pieces of paper here. This is just classically good paper to use for a wedding or anniversary or an engagement, anything to do with, you know, celebration, because it's bling, okay? It's blingy. So I would always recommend some blingy kind of stuff with gold on it is always good, or silver. I mean, especially if you're doing an anniversary card, right? You can have lots of different colours, pearlized if it's 30. You can do silver for a 25th anniversary. You can do red for a ruby anniversary at 40. You can do gold, obviously, for a 50th anniversary, etc. But it's also good just for any other time, for weddings and stuff like that. So some good paper is always handy. I do love a bit of embossing. I feel a bit of embossing is also good for a wedding now, or an anniversary card or anything of the same sort. So I have a couple of pieces embossed here. Colours are also important, as we've talked about, for anniversaries, but also for weddings. So, for example, red is a very lucky colour for people from China. So, you know, red would be a good colour for a wedding for somebody from China or Asia. I think it's not just China. I think it's other countries around that area as well. Red is seen as a very lucky colour. Over here, white, gold, cream. I've got this one, which would also work really nicely. This is pinks and dusky colours, but then with that lovely splash of gold, silver and copper on this one. It's got a complete multitude of coppers on that one. So you can just add whatever you like to it, really. But I think the metallics or the plains, so either all cream or vanilla or all white, they're always going to work really well. So let's start off with just a really simple one. Okay, so I've got this piece of embossed card. I want it to be white on white. I'm not sure at this point whether I want to use a ribbon or not. So I'm just going to leave my card base to one side and we'll just focus in on this to start off with. And then what I've done is I've die cut this beautiful gold die. Now I've left it on the gold to just show you how I do intricate dies, because these are intricate dies. So on the back of this I've stuck a piece of adhesive sheets. So you can get them in a pack like this from Stampin' Up. You can get them from Sizzix, I think, as well. And basically you put this sheet on first on the back, then you die cut through as normal, and then when you lift it's going to be sticky. So it's already going to be sticky for you. Okay, it's like you've made it into a double-sided sticker. It's cool. So I'm just going to start lifting this away from the backing. So the backing is underneath here. You can see that because I can get rid of all these pieces. So the backing is like behind here. So I can start to lift this out like this, but I want to lift out all these bits in here first, because these are not going to come with me into the die cut. There we go. We just want to make sure that they're lifting as well. Okay, so lift the sticky bits and the bits in the middle. And my view on this is people go, oh, I don't like detailed dies, they're so annoying. Just take your time. It's going to take a while. It's not going to be quick and easy. That's fine. Just accept that and move on. But get rid of anything you can. Like you can either lift them out or lift them off. Let's stick that over there. I've got a hair in that one. Where did that come from? It's too long to be mine. We'll just start lifting these pieces out, and these have got sticky on the back of them, so just make sure that they're not on your project. Don't want them sticking on your project, so just take them off at the side here. And then say hi if you're here, and welcome. I love to see who's joining us. And then that's probably a big enough piece it can come out all by itself. There we go. Oh, that's going to be sticky. So you're just taking all of the excess pieces out, because when it's going to be left, it's going to be quite delicate. It's just going to be like, it's just going to be the outline of everything. So just take these little bits out. And, you know, if you're doing this and it's not gold, you can use the brush. You can get a brush applicator for this thing. Take your pick tool, and I would recommend using the brush, but because it's gold, you don't want to damage the gold in any way. So I would rather take the time and just lift all these pieces out myself. So, you know, I'd say chat amongst yourselves, but there's not a lot of you on at the moment, which is unusual. Normally we have more than this on, but as I say, maybe it's because it's a bank holiday. Some people might be finding that the website is down. In the UK, it is. I apologise. They're having technical issues at the moment. They're working on it and they're hoping to get it fixed fairly soon. But yeah, so just be aware that that is happening. Oh, I've got a piece stuck behind. Come back. There we go. And of course, the new catalogue launches tomorrow. So let's hope it's up and running for then. So yes, new catalogue with all the new stuff that's available. Lots of new products. Lots of inks. All that kind of jazz. I'll be talking about them probably more when I come back from when I've got my pre-order and go away. There we go. And I get my pre-order back in from the not my pre-order, my actual order, because of course it's going to be I can't order it until the website's up. So when after tomorrow I'll order that, and then I will come back on and we'll talk about some new stuff. Probably in my June one, I think. Probably my June one. But of course you can always look online and find stuff. So while I'm going through this, it's a bit tedious, and I did say it was a bit tedious, but you will admit when you see it finally, you will go, oh, okay, that looks great. So it is worth taking the time and just being a little bit precious about this. Okay, I think I'm nearly there. I've just got these two bits here. Come on. And then I think, because the rest of these are leaves, so I think we're okay with the rest of these. Alrighty. Okay, so now we've got this coming off here. That bit needs to come out. So this is all coming off, That's lovely. Okay, let's see. Can we lift? Excellent. Lift this off, and I'm lifting it from the centre. Oh, I've got a bit there stuck. Never mind, I'll come back for that. Because that's where I'm going to put the wording over it. So that way it doesn't matter if it's slightly de-sticky in the middle. Okay, and then I am going to position this. Now you could do it as a sweeping thing, that would work, or you can go up and down. So basically you're ended up with this beautiful filigree set of leaves, big leaves, little leaves, fronds, etc. Beautiful. And I think we lost that one that was stuck in there when it came out, so that's good. So that's that. And then you just, hoover up all these little bits over here. So we'll get rid of that. And that has immediately created just a beautiful central golden piece to that. Okay. Now I do think I want to add some ribbon. I think this ribbon is always good. I think I'm going to go with a holographic ribbon. Don't know that if this is still around or if it's in glass charts. I'll put that around there because we're going to put a label across the centre of this. Really easy one. So we'll take this off, and these are quick and easy. I mean, the longest bit of this is going to be cutting the die and getting the bits out of the die cut. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that for now. Get rid of these if I can. Okay, those ones are stuck to my desk, so I'll just pick those up. Okay, lovely. Get rid of that. So now I'm going to use my glue, and I always like to use a tape runner for putting ribbon on, just because it doesn't, there's no chance of it leaking through the ribbon on the other side. Now this holographic ribbon's nice because what this does is it gives you, actually I'm going to bring that up just a smidge, it pretty much gives you all the colours in the rainbow, so you could match all of it if you wanted to with something that the couple like or enjoy. There we go. It's nice. And now I'm happy that that can then go straight onto my card base. So we'll glue that, and I'll use glue because it's embossed, and you want to have enough stick. And sometimes when it's embossed, make sure you've got enough glue going over it. Not masses. I'm still not putting masses on, just a little like swizzy round. That's going to go on there. Make sure that the card opens the right way. So now we've got a white base layer and a white embossed layer, which is just embossed with flowers. And I'm not getting the positioning perfect today. Deary me, Pip, your eyes are all off today. That's bad. There we go. On which I've put this gold delicate detailed die with leaves and little flourishes, all in gold, from the left hand side sort of diagonally across, just not quite to the right hand corner, so it's kind of straight but on a bit of an angle. Wrapped that with a bit of ribbon around the middle, and it's a holographic sheer ribbon that's thin and you can see through it. And if you're wondering why is she telling me that I can see it, because we have some blind people and some people who have bad eyesight who follow me, and they like to understand what the card looks like, so I like to tell them. Okay, so that's that. Then I'm going to create for us a little label. So I'm going to get some card, and I really like This Is Only the Beginning of a Life Filled with Love. That's really nice. But if we cut that out and stuck that over there, it would probably take up quite a lot of that area, and it might be too much. I'm going to do both. I also like the congratulations because I think that's just, really handy. Congratulations covers a multitude of things. This is only the beginning. See, it's quite big. Let me just, in fact, what I can do is I can just take this out of here. So this is my sentiment, the big one. And you can just sort of position it and see how much it's going to take up. Actually, not as much as you think. Oh, I might go for that one. I really like that one. It's great for like either a wedding card or even an engagement card, right? Because it's just the beginning. So I like that. And we'll do the congratulations as well, because it's always good to have a couple. And oh, sorry, just reaching over to get my embossing buddy. So I'm going to do some embossing. I'm just going to put that over there, like so. Excellent. And then get my Versamark out. So the embossing buddy just takes off all the static. This might get a bit loud in a minute. And I'm really inking that up, make sure I've got lots of ink all over it. I'm going to pop that down. I'm going to ink up the congratulations. Same time, same place. You can do 2 in 1. You don't have to do them all together. You just have to know that you can't actually see where the other one is when you're stamping. So you just have to know where you put the stamps. Okay. And then we'll get, this is what I do. Make sure your Versamark's away and that your stamps are out of the way. Make sure you don't hold it where the Versamark is. And then you're going to pour on your embossing powder, and we're going to have that wow factor. Not now, because this is just literally pouring on the powder. This is not wow, this is just, oh yeah, there it is. Okay, the wow comes in a second. All right, so this is only the beginning. Make sure that you've got all your stray bits off. Got a stray bit there. And if you don't like it, you can use a really, really tiny brush to just lift it off. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Now, you can't get too precious. If you start getting really precious, you're going to be here for hours, because there's always speckles, okay, with embossing powder. It's just the nature of the beast. So get it so that it's not obviously speckled, and then go from there. Put that out of the way. You're going to want your heat tool, and I'm going to heat it up before I put it anywhere near my embossing. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on and heat it up. I don't know if this is going to, if you're going to be able to hear me while this is running. So I'm just checking very carefully. You won't do this close to your eyes, but you can start to see when it warms up. I don't want to put it close to the camera lens either because it's so hot, but you can start to see it, and you can start to just, you can feel that even back here. So wait till it gets hot, and then start. And that is the magic of heat embossing. Because now, look, it's all golden. Yay! I still love it. Years later, people say to me, what's your favourite technique? What's your favourite? And I've got loads of things I love to do. I love blending. I love stenciling. I love masking. I love all of that stuff. I love stamping. I love fun folds. I love embossing. I love all that. But you're going to ask me, and I'm going to tell you it's heat embossing. Because it's like magic. I stamped it, I put a bit of powder on, and now it's gold. It's just magic, right? Okay, so now I'm going to get my dies. Here we go. No, they're not the right dies. That's those dies, isn't it? Yeah, that's those dies. Right. Here we go. And this set of dies, Wonderful Thoughts, goes with the Wonderful Thoughts sentiments, and they cut out like you've done a fussy cut, but you haven't done a fussy cut because you don't need to do a fussy cut because the dies do it for you. Even this one, look at that, isn't that cracking? Okay, so now I'm just going to pull it down towards me a bit so I can actually see where I'm placing it, because it is very tight to everything. So you just need to make sure. I'm going to get my head in the way probably now and look on the camera, see how does that look. That looks kind of even, doesn't it? Maybe just a smidgy. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to put my tape over that, make sure that's held nice and firmly. Okay, and I'm going to do the same with the congratulations bunny. More tape. Get more tape. And then we'll just whiz over to the cutting boss, which is over there, and we'll just cut this out. Now these are still available, so it was a bundle, but now they're available individually. I don't know why they do that sometimes. It'd be much better if they just kept it as bundles, but anyway, they do what they do for reasons. Who are we to judge? So put that on there, put that on there. There we go. Okay, that's okay. It looks like. Sorry if my hair was in your in the camera then. Get my hair cut. It's very fluffy at the moment. I'm going to get it cut on Thursday, so that'll be good. Okay, hopefully that's not too far over. That's great. All right, so put that on. I'm going to whiz over here. Just run that through, casually through the die cutting machine. I'm going to get 2 for 1. And this is when hopefully my lining up has worked. Hopefully my lining up has worked okay. Alrighty, so there we go. Look at that. It's not bad, is it? And this one. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Isn't that cool? I could never cut it out like that. I mean, I could, but it would take... No, I probably couldn't actually, because I couldn't get into these little bits in there. And quite frankly, it would take me forever. So this is so much better. Just a die cut that just cuts it out immediately is just brilliant. And there's a die for every single one of the sentiments in the set, which is awesome. Okay, so now we've got this on here. Now we're just going to put this on here. And I really think that I'm going to add this on top of that. So it's quite subtle, the words, but I like them on there. I think we'll just lift them up. We'll lift them up, and the good thing is these little ones will work. You might have to cut some of them in half, but generally they fit pretty good on here. You know me, no soggy middles, so we'll have none of that. And then we might need to cut a strip for this lot. So I'll get my blue ones out. Just cut a strip across there. Take that back off. I love that we get these extra bits on the edges that we can use for this to just make sure that that's nice and secure. And then probably just do another little strip along for this one, to be honest, as well. That would work just as well, I think. Ooh. Who else is there? Anyone else join me? If you have, say hello. If you haven't, I hope you're going to watch on replay. If you're watching on replay, say hello, because I always respond to comments. There we go, that's going on there. So now this is going to go on top of the ribbon. And is some of it going to attach underneath? Yes, okay. I think I'm going to put a little glue dot, though, underneath the ribbon. And all this does is it just makes sure that the ribbon doesn't move when I try and put the sentiment on, okay? Because you want the ribbon to stay where it is. And sometimes if you're like trying to move this around, you know, you can move the ribbon up and down. So I want to make sure that the ribbon sort of stays where it is. So I'll just pop that glue dot in there, underneath, in the middle, and then just glue that ribbon down. Okay, so then I know it's exactly where I want it to be. Just all these little tips and tricks for you. And then we will peel off the backing of the little mini dimensionals. And I don't think an engagement card or a wedding card or anything like that has to be a big card. I think it can be a small A6 or A2 size card. I think if it's for a family member and it's like a wedding card, then yeah, probably I would make it a bit bigger. But like for an engagement, this would work. In fact, I might even send this to my nephew who has just got engaged. So exciting. There we go. This is only the beginning of a life filled with love. Isn't that cool? So easy. And if you want to add a few more embellishments, which who doesn't, right? We can do some bling with, oh, this, come on. Oh, it's so full in this drawer. You can do some embellishments. I'm going to get all of these out. I'm going to get all of these out because it just depends. So either you could go with pearl, okay, because pearls would look kind of nice on there as well. But they're a bit silvery, but they do match with the holographic ribbon, so they'd kind of be okay with that. Or you could go with proper gold ones. I like these little gold ones. I might use them. Or you've got like these. These are kind of a bit more masculine-y, but they've got these which are like upside down sequins. So they're like little, almost ribbity, facety things. What are they called? Metallic gems. So they'd be quite nice too. Or you could, of course, go with plain rhinestones if you were using silver. Wouldn't you do it with gold? So I'm going to go with my, these are very old, blooming pearls. If you've got any of these in your stash, now's the time to grab them out, because they go beautifully with that gold. Look at that. I'll just add just a couple. Doesn't need to be lots, but we'll just have a few sort of scattered around the florally bit. Stick over here, just to add a little bit of extra texture, really. Down there, and we'll stick this one in there. Look at that. That's pretty, isn't it? So that is a very quick. The only thing I didn't do on like live is the embossing of the background, which takes seconds, as you know. So that is a 30 minutes to make a beautiful. Yeah, I'm going to call this an engagement card. Okay, we're going to call that an engagement card, and we're going to move on and see what else we can do. Okay, let's clear up. So that's the first one. Afternoon, Debs. Hello, it's lovely to see you. Yes, indeed. Thank you. I think I'm going to give that one to my nephew for his engagement. Right, let's put the let's tidy up a little, and then we'll get on with the next one. And again, we can do very, very quick and easy stuff, or we can do stuff that's a bit bigger or take a bit longer. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. Well, I am, but I'm not, if you know what I mean. I've got quite a lot of stuff here, so we'll see what we're going to go with next and see what we want to do next. The one thing I don't have, and it's probably a little bit of a shock horror really, I don't actually have any wedding sets, so I don't have anything that has like a bride and groom on it. And everybody always says, oh, you know, what about bride and groom, you know, surely. Sorry, that's a bit noisy. Surely you need to have a bride and groom or a Mr. and Mrs. or whatever to do a wedding card, and you really don't, not necessarily, unless you particularly want it to say Mr. and Mrs. And if you want it to say Mr. and Mrs., all you need is some letters, and you can work that out yourself. But let's do just a simple congratulations card. And again, this one could be for engagement, anniversary, something like that. That's a small piece. Let's get ourselves a big. Yeah, let's get ourselves a thick piece of basic white. And then I'm going to do a 6x6 card as well, just so that you can see. It doesn't have to take you long to make a couple of good cards, which I think anyone would be happy to send for any sort of special love occasion. So we can do. We've got one for an engagement, we can do one for a wedding, and one for a happy anniversary. Let's make this one the anniversary. Let's do that. I think I'm going to need a different. Might have to do some more embossing, or I might have to pull out a label. Let's see. Okay, so I've got this piece, but it's a bit small. I need a layer for that. So let's see what layers have we got here. I need to cut one. I might need to cut one. Don't know that I've got a melon mambo, which is what this colour is. I think I used my last melon mambo. Oh no, there. No, no. There we go. Always good to have a melon mambo on hand, is what I say. There we go. Not that I use pink a lot, but I do. Okay, so we've got that. Now we could do a little bit of mixture and mix and matching here, actually, because even though it's got white in it, we could add a gold ribbon that's got a bit of vanilla in it because of the gold and the fact that it's kind of a goldy vanilla. It will go. Okay, so we can add a bit of ribbon for that. Now this paper is called, what's this thing called? Marbled Elegance, I think. Yes, oh, that was a good guess. Marbled Elegance. And so it's got this marble effect, which I think has been created by pouring acrylic paint and then they've like lifted it off and taken pictures with it. But then what they've done is they've added this gold foiling in sort of just a really rough pattern, like splotches on top of it. And it can be used for anything. It's very general, very generic. Doesn't have to, you know, do whatever. Oh yes, look at that. Deb's is saying she's got the old beautiful U set and you can easily add a veil to the lady and turn her into a bride. Yes, that's good. And Deb needs to make some anniversary cards, but you're currently reorganising card and paper, so room is chaos. Oh, we all know that feeling. Okay, so I'm going to pop my... Yeah, don't look behind me. It's a little messy. It is a little messy. I actually quite like that side as well with the flowers. That's also nice. Could also work for an anniversary. But this is a bit more kind of a contemporary feel. So my other nephew got married in April. So, you know, I might hang on to this and use this as an anniversary card for next year. Nothing like planning ahead, right? Put it in your stack of things, cards I have made, ready for family use. There you go. All right, so... because this is a bit contemporary, so it's quite, I think this would be a young person's anniversary card, not necessarily an older person's anniversary card. So we're going to pop the, which way up do I want it to be? No, I think it looks better that way. So we're going to pop this sort of, it's a sheer ribbon with like a satin border, see that? And then a gold line on either side of the sheer bit in the middle. It's really pretty. I have no idea whether it's current or not. I can't keep up with all the stuff that's current. Online exclusives, retiring soon, oh no, last chance or whatever it is. I can't keep up. All I know is that there are some lovely things out there. So Thoughtful Wishes, the one we used on this one. This die cut here, if you like that die cut, that's on last chance. But it's still available. I don't think it's going to close tomorrow or whatever. It's just while stocks last. So it's on there until whenever. And you can buy them at a really good price. And it comes with a set of stamps. So I would get the stamps as well. Don't just get the dies if you're going to do that. I always recommend getting both. So that's the stamps, because they're lovely words, right? And then you get a full set of dies. So you cut all these out and the extra and this big bit and loads of other stuff. So that's a really good set. And I'm going to keep using that set because it's beautiful. And I don't feel like I want to get rid of it yet, if ever. So we'll see how that goes. I do have to get rid of some of my stuff at some point because otherwise I don't have enough room. Hence the chaos. But, you know, we'll go with the flow. But we'll keep. I always keep ones which I feel like I could really use them for great, you know, useful stuff. All right, so we're going to put we've put the paper onto a Melon Mambo card base. We've put the ribbon sort of like in the bottom third of the card, and we've wrapped that round, stuck that to the back, and now we've put that onto a white card base. Okay, so that's all sorted. Now what we need to do is decide what we're going to put in front. Now, I also like the fact that these dies come with, is it these ones that come with a little, well, these comes with quite a lot of sprays. Like you could easily cut that whole spray out there, which is, actually I might just cut that out because that's quite a nice one. We'll see how that goes. But all in the Wonderful Thoughts is the one I was actually thinking of. in the Wonderful Thoughts die set, it goes, so you've got all the dies that do the words. I've lost it. Here it is. Told you, get messy. So in this one, it also has this little floral bouquet, just as like a random extra die, which I think it's great. Love it when they throw in a random extra die. And they also have some hearts, which I think are also adorable. Look at these. So we've also got some hearts. So you could either do some hearts or some flowers or both. Which I think I prefer the bigger flowers. And I might cut a few little hearts out and we'll go with that rather than this one. So since this is a bit of a bigger piece, I don't think I need the underneath. I don't think this, it's going to be a little bit delicate there, but there are glue points on that, so that can just go straight in. So now I need some gold, and I always cut down my gold. Don't ever put your gold in like a whole sheet of it, not that that would fit, but don't put a whole sheet in when you're just trying to die cut one piece, because you'll just scratch it. So I'm going to take that piece and then I'm going to work out where I can get some more hearts out of, and then I only really need that much. And you're like, oh, it's just cutting off a bit, what's that for? But you could get a whole, look, you could do that whole thing again there. So keep that and keep it safe for next time, and that way it doesn't get scratched. Okay, another little trick I've got is that if you don't have a clean plate, which I discovered this morning, I don't have a clean plate. Both my plates have been scratched at retreats and various other bits and pieces. So I'm going to use a little plastic cello bag to be my protector. And you're like, what's a protector? Okay, let's put those in like that, and then hopefully I can turn that round and do another one there. We'll see. Might not be, might need to go up a smidge. There we go. So let me get my plates and I'll show you. I expect your plates to look like this too. Yeah, lots of scratches, especially this one. This one's got scratches on it. Normally I like to keep one plate completely clean with no die cutting on it, but these have been to retreat, and obviously someone's just used the wrong plate by accident, which is fine. I'm going to get some more plates anyway, but I don't have one for this morning. And I'm like, oh no, I need to use gold. So I get a cello bag, just a little cello bag, put that over the top, and then put that on top, and it will protect it pretty much from anything on the scratches that you've got there. And that's important if you're going to die cut two things from the same piece of card, which I am. So now, when I bring this over, take that off, take that off. So you can see none of these scratches have gone onto the gold, which is great. Take this out, take this off. I'm going to keep the hearts as they are. Turn them around. They should fit into that little, oops, they should fit that. See, there's no scratches on those, either on the hearts, which sometimes you can pick them up in the middle of a thingy, or on this piece here. So all lovely and clean cut, or smooth, should I say. Which way around is going to be best to do that? If I do it that way, I reckon I can get another heart out of that. So do that. Put the plastic back over the top. Scratch plate on top. The other tip I would say is just don't wind it through so much. Like, don't wind it all the way through. If you only need to cut one corner, just wind it through for the corner you're cutting, and then don't worry about the rest of it. And see, these are nice pieces. I can cut hearts out of those, and they've not been damaged because I've used a cello bag, and we've all got some of these. If you haven't got one of these, use the plastic that comes round. Like if you got a new set of dies, you'll probably be a plastic packet. That's quite a nice big one, so you could use that for that. Just don't put the hole over your image. because you'll get a hole mark when you do that. So that's just a tip. Debs likes that trick, thank you, good. And she says you just found 3 packs of brushed metal 12 by 12. Excellent. You were going to do a lot of gold die cutting. You obviously were, yes. But you know, it's great. That I love a bit of that, because when you have so much of it, you don't feel guilty about just matting and layering it without, you know, gutting it in the middle. I always just mat and layer it. I haven't got time to be feeling guilty about gutting stuff. Right, here we go. Especially if you get it at a bargain. Like if you get it on a bargain, if you have to pay full price for gold stuff, fair enough. You might want to be a bit, you know, bit less reckless with using it. But if you've got it on a bargain price somehow, on a sale or something. Okay, now these are coming out a lot easier because I didn't put that adhesive sheets on the back. Notice that. But now I need to actually get it off. There it is. It's lifting, lifting, lifting. Out you come. There. That's pretty, isn't it? That's pretty. Very pretty. Okay. So we'll keep the hearts. Get rid of the trash. No, I called it trash. I call it rubbish, but there you go. Trash from my American watchers. Okay. So we're going to use congratulations. That's going to be my words. Okay. So we can either, I think we tuck this behind the ribbon slightly, like so. We can put congratulations either along. If we move this up a bit, we can do that. Or we can put it over, actually it might be better over the top. Yeah, I like it better over the top. Congratulations can come along underneath. So we've got the ribbon and we've got the wording and we've got the thingy. This is all good. This is all working nicely. And then we can just pop, might just pop a couple of, maybe just need just a couple of little small hearts actually. I think that looks all right. Don't know if we need the big one. What do we think? Do we need the bigger one? It's just a bit big. It's just a bit, takes away from the words, I think. I'm just going to use the 2 little, or maybe just even the 1. There you go. Sometimes you just need the 1. Just there. That's perfect. Yeah, I like it like that. Okay, so I'm going to use dimensionals on the back of here with a bit of glue. Oh, there's a bit missing, or rather a bit not missing. There we go. So we will put a couple of these dimensionals on here, because it's always nice sometimes to be able to lift intricate things, and when they've got this amount of gaps, like, well, not gaps, solid pieces, it means that you can add these little mini dimensionals in. They're really great for that. And then that one's going to need cutting, I feel. That one might work, but it might need cutting. Let's go with cutting. That one will fit on there and give it a bit more stability. And then we'll cut a few halves. So what I do for the bits that are too small to have a whole one, I just chop one of these in half. And now I've got nails, okay? I'm not saying this is easy for people who haven't got nails. So use your pokey tool, or you take your pick tool in this case, and just pull it off and stick it on. It needs to go the other way around. And that way you don't need nails because you've got your pokey tool. So we'll cut another one in half. And then we'll put that one on there. See, it makes it so much easier. You just pick it up and whiz it along. And then we can put that on there. This is going to have a lot of support, which is good. Make sure you don't pick up your fancy scissors at the wrong time. Oh, no, I forgot that one. I forgot that one was still sticky. Here we go. Put these down, like so. And then stick that one there. And then stick this one over here. I think that'll probably do us. We need something in here-ish. Maybe in here. Actually, we might need two more. Maybe two more. You know, I don't understand when people just put like 2 bits on and call it done. I have to make sure it's going to stick. Because what do we want? No soggy middles, right? No soggy middles. And especially for a delicate one, we need to make sure that it's going to attach itself properly. Okay. Probably doing it. I'm getting a bit OCD now. Even I can admit when I get OCD. So just stop now, Pip. This is enough. That's enough. Okay. And then you can usually take your pick tool to take the tops off if you don't have nails as well. Which is why I love my take your pick tool. So many handy thingies for it. How are we doing on time? Oh, okay. There we go. We're kind of getting close to the wire. All right. I might do the other one as part of my Stampin' Chat on Saturday for members, and then I will post pictures maybe later on. So, whilst you're sitting here watching me peeling off the backs of thingies, I don't just do this once a month. I do actually run a membership. It's called the Card Making Know-How Academy, and it is filled, and I really do mean that, filled with tips and tricks and tutorials and guides and how-tos and all the kind of stuff, you know, that you're learning here, but also loads more, absolutely loads more. And it takes you right from beginner to confident card maker and everything in between. And if you're already quite confident but you just want to have some extra help with tutorials and various bits and pieces, you can just join for that as well. It is a monthly fee, but whilst you're a member you get free access to everything that's in the membership, plus the courses and the Stampin' Chats, and which is basically a 2-hour online class every month with me, and also Ask Queen Pip Night, which is where you can come and ask me anything you like on Zoom and I will answer it for you. I mean, obviously it's got to be about crafting, right? Because that's the only thing I really know anything about. Or contracts, but no, we don't talk about contracts. That's my other job. But yeah, so you can come and you can join that. And if you want to know how to do that, then you just have to go to, where are we? Where is it? There it is. That's how you can sign up to the membership. Okay, really easy. cardmakingknowhow.com. And then if you are thinking, oh, I don't know, that might be a bit too much for me to get my head around at the moment, then coming soon, we'll be having like a shortened version, just a course, but this is just for beginners. Okay, so if you know a lot of this stuff, then you won't want to join that one. You'll want to join the membership. But that's something that is coming kind of soonish, but it's not there yet. Okay, so that's that. Rich Nations. I've moved that down a little bit further on. But yeah, the membership is for everybody worldwide, as long as you can talk and read English, because that's the only language I do. Although these days Google Translate does so much, and you can actually translate pretty much, I think, all of my videos. I think you can do the translation thing on them. Now see that one, I put it on the ribbon. Guess what I forgot to do underneath? I forgot to put the little glue dots. I've got to go back and do that. I don't know if I actually want it there. I think I want it a little bit lower down than that. So I'm going to put this glue dot just a little towards the bottom, I think, because I only want it really at the bottom of that, I think. And then we will put this, oops, I think we put this here, like so. Yeah, I think that needs to be almost like on top of the eye of the congratulations. There we go. So, thanks, Debs. Membership is a bargain, she says. classes, online tutorials, active community. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, thank you, Debs. Yeah, Debs is a member in case you were wondering. And no, I didn't pay her to say that. But yes, it is a good, even though I say so myself, this month it is our 4th anniversary. 4 years since I started the membership. And it's really gone from strength to strength. And I think our members worldwide, really learnt loads. Even those who are no longer with us, they're still in my head. They've been members, so they've come in, they've learnt stuff and they've left, and that's fine. Some have left for reasons, because they can't afford to stay anymore, although it's less than, it's about, I don't know, I think it's 70p a day or something, 50p a day, something like that. No, it must be less than 50p a day, I would say. So, but some people just, finances and stuff. Some people, they've had to move house, so they haven't got a craft room anymore, that kind of stuff. I lost my train of thought there for a minute. So, but they've still learned, and that's what makes me happy, that they've still learned stuff. So, some people learn stuff just in my free Facebook group. Some people learn stuff from my free YouTube videos, and I always want to do those for people who can't come to the membership. But if you can, I would recommend it. It's the best place to be. Okay, so let's get rid of that. And if you're not getting my emails, then make sure that you sign up for my emails, because you can find out more about the membership and also hints and tips every week for you if you sign up for my membership, my emails. So that's queenpipcards.com/newbie. That's always handy. What else did I need to tell you? Oh, retreats. The summer retreat is a coming. Summer is a coming in, as they say. So yes, the summer retreat, 12th of July here in the UK, Farnborough, Hampshire, UK. July 12th. It's an all-day, one-day event, and you can find information out on that and my Christmas one at queenpitcards.com/retreats. So excited about that. So yes, so that's the retreat one. We'll be using Chloe's creative stamps for that one in July, so that'll be nice to do something different. But yes, have a look and see all the things that I do, because it's not just this. So there we go. So in less than an hour, we've now created an engagement card, an anniversary card. I mean, it says congratulations, so you could use it as an engagement card if you wanted to. Inside, I'm going to put happy anniversary. Okay, so but you could also change that to happy anniversary. It's just I don't have happy anniversary. I don't think I've got actual words that say happy anniversary. Which, I'm sure I've got them somewhere, but can I find them? Can I get? Yeah, no. So can't find them. Don't know where they are. So we've got it like that. What else did I have here? Something else. Okay, so that's those. And then what I thought I would do is a very, very, very simple card. Okay, just with a bit of stamping, because this is quite a lot of die cutting, but you might not have a die cutting machine. You might not have a heat embosser. So, maybe you need something a little bit simpler than that. Oh, thanks, Debs. Debs says happy 4th anniversary. I know, I can't believe it. So exciting. So exciting. So here I've got, again, this is a retiring stamp set, but, I just love it. And it is called Regal Flora. It's obviously good for me. Wishing I were there to give you a hug. Is that right? Wishing I was there to give you a hug. Wishing I were there. I suppose either of those would work, to be fair. Sending love your way. Thanks, missing you. Very nice. But just some lovely floral images. In fact, I might even get that little tiny one here. And I'm just going to use these in a very simple way. I'm not going to get too fussed or bothered about whether it's all lining up perfectly, because A, it's rubber, so it won't. Unless you position it on a stamp positioner, and quite frankly, life is too short when you just want to make a nice quick stamped card. So I thought I would put this, I'm just going to put this on here. That's it. There we go. So I thought I would do this on a piece of white, and I need to get my bubble bath and my fridge freezer and my subsecret. Fridge freezer. Might get my pens to match. Okay, just for this little one here. So what I've got here is, what size block do I need for that? Probably this one, actually. Ugh, a bit messy. Don't tell my friend Alison. She'll be well upset. She's our cleaner. No, she's not my cleaner. She's the woman who keeps all her stamps in pristine condition. Everything's clean and neat and tidy. Her blocks are amazing. Mine are just dreadful. It sets me to shame. Puts me to shame. There we go. And also, and to be fair, it is much easier to use your blocks if they are clean. You can see what you're doing for a start, which is kind of the point. Okay, here we go. So I have bubble bath, fresh freesia. I don't know why I'm saying bubble bath all of a sudden. Bubble bath, fresh freesia, soft sea foam. And we are going to put it on a white card base, which I have here. And I'm going to cut myself. We're going to do white on white again, basically, because, you know, I just love white on white. It's so pretty. So I'm just cutting myself a layer, and I'm just going to not emboss anything because we're going to do some stamping, right? So we need to have it. What side did I do that? Yeah. So there we go. We need to have it proper, as it were. Put that in, do that. And if you're stuck with like measuring, card layering, all that kind of stuff, that again, all in the membership. Deb's just saying she's going to make me a 4th anniversary card for this month's challenge. I know, because this month's challenge is all about love, anniversary, weddings, etc. So these all play in. Okay, so let's start with our big stamp in the middle. So if you just like stamping, this is the kind. No, not that. That's the card base bit. Okay, this is the card for you. So I'm just stamping a few beautiful flowers right in the middle. Oh, see, now that had Lambo on it earlier. It's come out with a little bit of a darker pink at centre, but I don't mind. That's worked out okay, to be fair. Now, you can either tap your images to your ink pads and then go and do them, like tap your lines to your other ink pad, or you can just use your pens, your oh, what am I trying to say? Your water-based markers. Use your water-based markers and you can colour in your actual stamps. And then you can get these to be, let's try this one coming down here a little, I think. Like two-tone. Oh, hello. What colour's that? What colour did I do? I'm sure I did that. Why is that different? That's very different. Oh, look at that difference. That's probably because it was dirty. Dear me. Okay, do you know what we're going to do with that? Can you guess? Bet Deb's going to guess. We're going to turn it over and start again, because a piece of card has 2 sides. Okay, so if you go wrong on one side, turn it over and start again. Just wondering if I've re-inked this with the wrong colour, but I don't think so. So let's do our little flowers again in the middle. That's definitely a dirty colour. Oh, I'm going to need another piece of card now. Hang on. Either that or something's gone very odd. Maybe my scrub needs cleaning. That could be it. Okay. So, what to do if your scrub needs cleaning and you haven't got time to clean it, because I'm not going to go and run it under the shower right now. I'm going to get myself my little, I think it's what's left in this stamp. Get myself my little microfiber cloth. Oh yeah, I think my scrub needs cleaning. And I'm going to get out all that muck that was in there on my microfiber cloth. There we go. Off a bit. Nice. That looks a little better, doesn't it? A little less dingy. Let's see how that's going to stamp now. Which way did I have that? That way. Well, that's a bit better, isn't it? I'm still not sure it's the same colour as this one, though. But it's closer. So we'll go with that. Okay, what I might do is I might just use Fresh Freesia for these ones, so they're obviously different. Oh, maybe that's what I did. I can't remember now. I don't know. Stamped since then. Then we'll put some of this in. I'm going to put one down here. Oh, that's very different. That's good. Okay. But it's obviously different, so that's fine. And we're going to colour it again. Put one up here. And again, I'm not really worried that it's not like right on the lines. If you want to, you can always add more. And then I'm going to use my soft sea foam. I'm going to clean that stamp because I reckon that's got a little bit of grunge on it as well. So let's get my microfiber really clean. It's because it's a detail stamp. That's the thing with rubber. Because they're detail stamps, they really do hang on to the colour. So you just need to make sure they're clean. Obviously I didn't. No clean blocks, no clean stamps, honestly. Dreadful. Okay, so now this is my soft seafoam leaves, which we're going to have coming in sort of here-ish. Don't mind if it goes over. Oh, it went over my flowers a little bit too much. Do you know what? I'm going to die cut that. I'm sorry, I'm going to fussy cut those out. There we go. I'm going to put some of these in so that they're kind of coming in here. That's nice. That's okay. What I might do now is I'm going to stamp the flowers again and just cut them out. So I'm going to use my piece of disastrous coloured card I had before. And we'll stamp that, stick that down there, and then we'll just cut that out by hand. Just because I'm on here and I'm not doing it in my head properly. Where's my scissors gone? Oh, the cry of a crafter. Where are my snips? There. So I'm going to take this. No, I'm not going to leave it just hacked like that. But I'm just getting rid of the excess, and then we'll just go around the edge. We won't go particularly close. We'll just whiz around the edge. Because it doesn't matter if they're perfect. There we go. And here. Round in here, round in here. Shouldn't take too long because it's only a little stamp. And it's not intricate really. It's just sort of petals. I would have been happier if the stems had gone on outside the petals, but I stamped them inside the petals and I can't cope with that. It's just a me thing. You might be able to cope with that, and that's all well and good. If you can, great. You won't have to do this bit. I have actually got a set of dies, but I promised you that this would be a non-die cutting card. So here you go. This is how you do it if you have to cut it out by hand. And again, that's okay. You don't have to use dies to cut everything out. You can, you know, indeed cut things out by hand. Just move the paper around your scissors rather than the other way around. And there we go. That's coming up for the end now. Lovely. So now I can pop those on top of there, and if somebody sees it underneath, doesn't matter. Does not matter. Right. There we go. Oh, this was a smaller piece of card, but that's okay. We'll live with that as well. So there we go. We've got that. We've got that. We've got this. What else do I need? Oh, we need a sentiment. So, as I say, I don't have any wedding sentiments per se. Get some glue now. So we'll come up, I think we'll probably use congratulations again, maybe. It's always good for a wedding. Or anything else. Or you could just use, you know, I love you, or if it's for your anniversary card to somebody that you're married to or partnered with, or however. Let's get some larger dimensionals. Okay. And then I'll stick some dimensionals on here, making sure that we're not going to go soggy. So pop that up on top of those, make sure they line up like so. And then what should we do? Should we use congratulations again? I think congratulations. My heart will always be tied to yours. That's always a good one for you know, weddings and stuff. Let's do that one. Or anniversary. That would be like an anniversary, wouldn't it? Deb says, you make fussy cutting look easy. Oh yeah. Having your tongue sticking out is just part of the whole thing. Where is it? My heart will always be tied to yours. Here we go. I mean, it's a bit gushy, but, you know, it works. Where does that go? You can do amazing things. We'll go with a bit gushy. And a bit gushy. And for this one, we can do it on a label. So somewhere I've got a little strip of white. Here it is. Will that fit on there? No. Okay. We'll do it on here and I'll punch it out. That's probably the best way to do it on there. Because I want to test it, because I want to do like 2 colours. So we're going to do this bit, which is my heart, I think. Or yours. This is the yours. And then this is the heart, which is the middle bit. Which is, I do love this technique, if it works. Sometimes I find it works better though on rubber, so we'll just see how this goes. If it doesn't look great, we'll just stamp it all in one colour. What I will not do is I'm not going to chop it in half, so nobody needs to panic. If Nicola's watching this, you do not need to panic that I'm going to cut these sentiments to pieces so that I can do it with thingy. Unlike some other people I know. There we go. Yeah, see, it doesn't come out great on photopolymer sometimes doing that. No, we're just going to stamp it. We'll stamp it. Do individual, one whole thing. And I think I'm going to use fresh freesia because it looks nice and I think it's going to show up better. So we'll do fresh freesia, which is this one. And then if this was rubber stamps, that would have come out lovely. And sometimes you can get it working on your photopolymer, but sometimes you can't. So we'll do that, and then I'm going to grab my go-to punch, which is retired, but it's lovely. Will it fit on that? Oh, it might fit on that. Oh, it might fit on that indeed. It needs to come over a bit. Right, will always be tied to yours. I think that's going to fit in okay. Lovely. So it's nice and small. The other one's a little big. Now, if you wanted to, you could layer it. So I could layer it with the white, layer on layer, which sometimes can look nice. But I just think I think the scallop one's just a little big. So I think I'm going to pop that just in there like that. I'm not even going to put it up. You'll see that it's punched, but it doesn't have to be up on dimensionals to make a little bit of an impact. Just go in there, just holding it upright so I can get my lines, my words straight. Okay. There we go. So that's kind of like an anniversary card in my head. The heart will always be tied to yours. Or it could be for somebody, they're not going to get married, but, you know, they're still together. So that's a simple stamping one. And then these ones are just simple die cutting ones. So we have 3. On 3. Although I have gone over a little bit, but you don't mind, do you? Simple stamping, bit of a trendy zazzy one, and then what I would call a classic. I'm just trying to get them so they all fit in the screen. Hold on. There we go. Thanks, Deb. So there you go, everyone. That is our month's theme. This month's little theme is all about love, and wedding cards, anniversary cards, engagement cards, all of those kind of jazzy things. All 6x6, all A6 cards are A2 size for those in the States and North America if you use letter. But I still think they're beautiful. You know, it's still going to be a wow on the mantelpiece because they're just so pretty, either with lots of bling because of the gold, or just softly elegant is what I call that. Softly stylish, simply stylish, really. It's my hashtag. So there we go. So if you've enjoyed it, let me know, thumbs up, subscribe to this channel so that you get notified when I'm going online next, which will be at the beginning of June. And yeah, if you want to come and join us and learn more things about that, then don't forget to head over and sign up for my emails and come and join us over in the membership. So take care from me for now, and I will see you again soon. Ta-ta, bye-bye.